lawmakers in the United States are to grill Facebook later about the social network's plans for its own currency. Facebook says the digital money known as Libra would be run as a not-for-profit consortium from Switzerland. The project has raised concerns for financial regulators in many parts of the world, with the US Treasury Secretary the latest to join in the criticism. Well, our business editor Stephen Carl is here with more on this story. Stephen, remind me firstly what exactly Libra is.
So this is Facebook's plan for a new digital currency that will allow you to send, transfer money over Facebook services like WhatsApp or Messenger. Now, it's part of a broader financial ecosystem, but that's the basic idea that, for example, you'd be able to send money abroad with much lower or no fees in some cases. Now, the company has signed up 27 other big firms to take part in this project. There are tech companies on board, the likes of Uber, for example, but also payments companies that do this on a regular basis, like PayPal or Visa. Now, eventually, Facebook wants this to run as a non-profit foundation based in Switzerland. They want to have 100 members who will be used to validate the transactions on the Libra network, which will be underpinned by blockchain, this technology that's used now increasingly across digital currencies and other areas in finance as well. Libra, unlike current cryptocurrencies, will have some reserve assets, some deposits that back it up. And that is aimed at reducing some of the criticism of the likes of Bitcoin, where its prices fluctuate very wildly. The idea is if there is a reserve, the price could be more stable.
Okay, interesting. What sort of questions do you think Facebook's representative is likely to hear today then in Washington?
Now, since the project has been unveiled, there has been huge concern expressed by financial regulators. They're worried about potentially Libra being used for criminal, illicit activity, terrorism, any number of nefarious deeds because it would be on a private network. Central banks are concerned too. They fear that it could limit their ability to control economic crises or manage the economy in the way they do now. Remember, Facebook has over 2 billion users. If Libra became widespread used, that could mean that these banks, which control money supply, that is what a central bank is there to do, wouldn't have any control over what happens on the Libra network. What we heard from the US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin ahead of these hearings is that Facebook has a lot of work to do to convince them that they should be allowed go ahead with this plan. Let's take a listen.
The Treasury Department has expressed very serious concerns that Libra could be misused by money launderers and terrorist financiers. We will not allow digital asset service providers to operate in the shadows and will not tolerate the use of the cryptocurrencies in support of illicit activities.
Now, in a written statement before his testimony, David Marcus, who's the Facebook executive and co-creator of Libra, who'll be speaking, said that they're not planning to compete with any traditional currencies and that they will work closely with regulators before this project gets up and running. The hearings, though, are likely to be very tense. We can expect questions about privacy and whether or not this project is an attempt by Facebook to get more data on its users. The company says that it isn't, but we'll be interested to see if Facebook is moving away from that original philosophy of moving fast and breaking things. It seems like this time around they want to take it a lot slowly to get it right.